Hey guys, Zack here, and welcome back to another action figure review, and today we'll be taking a look at the Bandai movie monster series Legion. Now, this monster comes from the 1996 film Gamera 2 Attack of Legion, which I hate to sound like a broken record, and I went into this tangent before, but the Heisei Gamera movies are so good. I absolutely love them. I love Godzilla, don't get me wrong, but these three Gamera movies are better than most Godzilla movies I've seen. And again, I love Godzilla, but just the Heisei Gamera movies are genuinely really special movies. I mean, the Showa movies, I haven't seen them, so I couldn't really give you my thoughts exactly. But from what I've heard, they're just kind of there. They're not bad, but they're just kind of there, you know. But the Heisei Gamera movies are just they're so good. So if you love Godzilla and you love kaiju movies, please watch the Heisei Gamera movies. They are so good. Nowadays, it honestly doesn't feel like Gamera gets enough love. I mean, a lot of people love Gamera nowadays, don't get me wrong, a lot of Gamera fans out there, but I feel like there's not nearly as much, Gamera fans as much as there are Godzilla fans, which is kind of a shame, which, again, I love Godzilla, I can't stress this enough. I loved Godzilla since I was a very young child, but the Heisei Gamera movies, they're actually some really special movies. So if you haven't seen them, please watch them. They are just so good. And Gamera 2 Attack of Legion, probably my second favorite in the trilogy. My favorite would have to be Gamera 3, but Gamera 2 is still a very good movie. So if you haven't seen the Heisei Gamera movies, please watch them. They are all just very, very, very good. I love them all. So yeah. Anyway, before we take a look at the figure itself, let's take a quick look at the tag he comes with. So, of course, the front here, we have a nice picture of Legion here, with the movie monster series there, and Legion right there. Sorry, I'll make that more focused for you guys. And on the other side, I bumped the camera, I'm sorry. The other side, we have the movie poster, which looks very good. I love this artwork. It's so good, so very beautifully illustrated. So, yeah, on the inside here, we just have some Japanese writing, some legal information, a picture of Legion right there. And that's pretty much it for the tag. Usually with these Bandai vinyl tags, there's nothing really not a lot to them. They're just kind of there as like a little bonus. So, yeah. Anyway, now for the figure itself. So, of course, to start this review, we will take a look at the paint. And the painting on this figure, for the most part, is very nice. There are some minor problems I have, but not the end of the world. So let's take a closer look. So, of course, most of the figure here is this whitish color, which looks very nice. I would have liked it if it had a metallic finish to it, but at the same time, at that point, the painting would probably just chip a lot. So I'm kind of glad they didn't go for that route. Plus, the white here still works very well. Of course, we do have some hints of black on this figure, like here on the head, and this giant horn thing, whatever you want to call it. And of course, on the back side of the figure, like on the underside here and on the legs. One thing I find weird, at the back of the legs here and the pincers here, there's really nice airbrushing, and same here, nice airbrushing. But on the other side of them, there's none, which that's typical for Bandai movie monster series figures, but it's still kind of annoying if I'm being honest. But regardless, we do still have some nice shading here and on the back right there, and even some nice airbrushing on the pincers here and on the feet. Yes, I'm calling them that, feet. I don't know too much about insects. I don't know if these have a specific name as far as insects go, but for me they're just feet. Of course, on the chest here, we have some red, which looks really nice. The eyes are painted blue. And we have some nice airbrushing here, but just like with the legs, there's no painting on the back. It's just on the front, and it's a little upsetting, but not the end of the world. A little annoying, but honestly, I can live with it. But regardless, that is pretty much it for the painting on this figure. And the painting on this figure, for the most part, is really nice. Very minor things I do differently, but overall, I feel like the painting on this figure, it gets the job done. Everything is very neatly applied, and it's really nice. So the painting on this figure is good, so it gets a pass. The one thing I will say about the paint, after I took it out of the shipping packaging, whatever, I've like come across like little like black flakes coming off this figure, so like this figure might have a problem with paint chipping. I'm not 100% sure, so if you do move this figure around, just handle it a little carefully. So yeah, but the painting on this figure still good, so it definitely gets a pass. Now take a look at the articulation, and the articulation on this figure is also really nice for a Bandai vinyl. I mean, especially for a bulky figure like this. So of course the head can twist 360. The pincers can move upwards like so, and downwards like so, and same with this one. And even on the legs here, we have this portion that rotates, and same with the other side. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the articulation on this figure. Again, nothing crazy, but it's a Bandai vinyl, and something like this is, pretty typical. And especially for, like, a bulky figure like this, like, the amount of articulation is what you'd see on, like, a Godzilla figure or something like that. So, the articulation on this figure for a Bandai vinyl is really nice. So, the articulation on this figure is good, so it gets a pass. Now I'll take a look at the sculpt, and the sculpting on this figure, well, it's pretty much perfect. It's literally just ripped right out of the movie. And this design as a whole, it's just such a really badass design. I love it. Very, insect-like. Well, of course, Legion, he's a giant, like, grasshopper thing, by, like, the back here. But, yeah, no, like, at a design standpoint, Legion, like, such a great monster. And would you believe this was a guy in a suit? Yeah. I mean, well, if you watch the movie, it might be obvious, but, like, if you were to tell me this was a guy in a suit, I wouldn't have believed you, like, without seeing the Gamera movies, because, like, this is, this is just, like, I would have assumed this was, like, an animatronic or something, but no, this is, like, a guy in a suit, and that's another thing I really love, like, about the Gamera movies, like, both at a storytelling standpoint, but, like, the technical standpoint is just really nice, because, like, with things like Godzilla, and again, I love Godzilla, don't get me wrong, but most of the monsters he fights, you can very clearly tell they're just people in suits, but with Gamera, you have, like, really neat designs like this, where it's like, yeah, I never would have guessed this was a guy in a suit, because you have monsters like Destroya, and you have, Mechagodzilla and stuff like that, which are all great. I love those characters, don't get me wrong, but, like, at a technical standpoint, they're not really, like, impressive, but Legion here is, because, his design is just really nice, especially for a suit. Because, like, the actor, he'd, like, go here, and then, like, he'd just kind of, like, be in this big bulbous part right here, and it's just, like, yeah, no, at a technical standpoint, the Heisei Gamera movies are very nice, so, yeah, again, that's enough of me gushing about the Gamera movies for this video. I've done that too much, but seriously, please watch them. That's all I want for you guys to do, but yeah, but going back to the actual sculpting of the figure, yeah, it's pretty much one-to-one to what we see in the movie itself, so, yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much it for the sculpting, and the sculpting on this figure is very nice, so the sculpting definitely gets a pass. Now we'll take a look at the detailing, and the detailing on this figure is also very nice. So, of course, going to the head here, we can see all of the, exoskeleton, like, detailing that you see on, like, crabs and insects and everything like that, which looks really nice. All the detailing here is just very, very neatly defined. It just looks really nice. And these here, they are detailed nicely as well. This chest portion here, again, is also detailed very nicely. And just a lot of nice, just like, not like an insect, like invertebrate sort of detailing, which looks nice. All like the creases and everything like that, and all the panels, just very like neatly defined, very just very nicely detailed. Everything just looks really nice on this figure. And even with like the legs back here and the abdomen, the detailing, very nice. The detail on the back here, again, just looks very, very nicely defined, very neat. So I like that a lot. And yeah, not too much detailing on the underside, but, not the end of the world. The detail on this figure is still very nice and very, very defined, and I like it a lot. So the detail on this figure is good, so it gets a pass. So, yeah, at the end of the day, should you get this? Honestly, I'd say yeah. This is like a very nice figure of Legion. Very affordable, if you order him from Hobby Link Japan, because that's where I got mine, as well as the Gyaos figure, because they're not on Amazon yet. Though if they were to be added on Amazon, they'd probably be pretty expensive. On Hobby Link Japan, you could pay like between $20 and $15. I think Gyaos was 15, and I think Legion here was just 20. So honestly, for 20 bucks, this is actually not a bad figure at all. It's actually really nice, you know. So yeah, if you love Gamera, definitely pick this up, because this is still not the nicest figure around, but as far as like affordability goes and just like, you know, as a figure, it's still very nice for what it is. So I do like it a lot. So yeah, get this figure if you can, and if you want to know how big he is, here he is with the Bandai Movie Monster Series figure of Gamera. And I feel like Legion should be like a little taller, maybe like that, not by a whole lot, but overall, I think the scaling works very well. Here's last week's review, the Bandai Movie Monster Series Gyaos, and they look okay next to each other. Here's another insect, giant monster character. Here is the Bandai Movie Monster Series Mothra. Again, not like, you know, grasshopper sort of thing. Like, they're both insects, so I feel like it kind of works, I guess. So there you go. And of course, here's the Bandai Movie Monster Series Biollante. Two of my favorite, like, you know, kaiju monsters from, like, you know, the Godzilla and Gamera series of movies. Like, both are like technical standpoints, because they're just like, you know, really great, because they're both, or Legion is a guy in a suit, but Biollante is like a giant animatronic. And all of like the behind the scenes stuff with Biollante is also really cool. My only issue with this scaling, I wish Biollante was like a lot bigger. Like maybe like that would have been awesome if she was that big. But instead she's not. She's very, very small. And looking at Legion, it's like they should have made Biollante bigger. Like maybe like price wise, that's why they didn't like make Biollante huge. But then there's this figure, and it's like, yeah, this Biollante, not a bad figure, but just as far as scale goes, it looks a little pathetic, if I'm being honest. But either way, two great monsters here. I love them both. So there's that. And of course, how we always end these reviews. Here Legion is next to Dr. Billy Grant and some hand sanitizer. Alright. Now, that is it for today. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you in the next video. Peace. Zack out.